Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having an amazing week. Thank you so much for all the great feedback that you left on my first vlog. I'm still figuring things out, so I'm hoping to do more of those for you. My Wednesday videos will still be happening for everybody that's asking. Those are not replacing my Wednesday videos. Those will just be kind of an add-on for you. I wanted to do the vlogs because I think they're just a little bit more informative and can give you more personal information about me and just an idea of what having a career in this industry is really like. So I'm trying to be as honest as possible, and I'll try to cover as many topics as I can in the vlogs. But for now, we still have to finish up our skin prep for makeup artists series, and today we're going to be talking about dry skin. I know for some of you these videos are not as exciting. I know you are still asking me for the on-camera makeup application videos, but the reality is if you do not understand skincare and skin type and how to skin prep properly, your makeup's not going to look great. So that is why I am covering off the different skin types for you before we move on to makeup application. With dry skin, makeup application can be quite challenging because it's not going to look as fresh and glowy and smooth as makeup application on some other skin types. You're going to be fighting against dryness, dehydration, exaggerated fine lines. You might be fighting against dry patches, eczema, psoriasis, things like this. When you're looking at someone's skin, for me, especially with drier skin, before I start my makeup prep, I do like to feel their skin with the back of my hand. So I'll feel their skin like this, just so I can see how dry and dehydrated their skin actually is. Sometimes someone will tell you that they have a dry skin. You'll look at their skin and it will actually look pretty normal. But when you touch the skin, you'll be able to feel that roughness and those dry patches that are there. So that's a quick tip that has helped me in terms of identifying how dry my client's skin is. There are people out there that don't even know that they have dry skin, and you won't figure it out until you actually start applying the makeup, and you'll see dry patches and a lot of fine lines. So it's best to really do your own assessment of your client's skin. I know I've said this in the other videos that I've done in this series. We have to listen to our clients in terms of their skincare concerns, but not all clients really understand their skin type fully. Some people will tell you they are a combination and it's very clear that they are dry. So it's always best to do your own assessment with any client that sits in your chair so you can figure out what the right skin prep is going to be for your makeup application. Let's talk about some of the characteristics of dry skin so you know what you're dealing with when your clients sit in your chair. Doing the technique where you just touch the skin lightly, this will give you an idea of the level of hydration that's happening on the skin. You will actually be able to feel, if you can't see, if there is any dryness on the cheeks. You're going to look at their skin. You're not going to see a lot of pores. You're going to see very small pores. There may be patches of rough, flaky spots, sometimes around the nose, in the forehead. The eyebrows may have some dry skin in them. You may see rough, dry patches on the cheeks as well. In more mature skin, you may have some sunspots that are also a different texture and are a little bit dry. So those spots will appear rough and flaky under the makeup. And you will have some clients that are extremely red and irritated and may also have patches of eczema or psoriasis that can appear very red on the skin. Some of the challenges that you're going to experience when you are working on somebody with dry skin, and maybe some of you have experienced this already, I know I have, when you apply the makeup, it does not go on smoothly, it does not look fresh, it doesn't have that glowy, youthful look. When you apply makeup, it starts to enhance a lot of fine lines. You may put something on the skin to moisturize it and it will suck it right up, and it's like you never moisturized it in the first place. This can be really tricky because at the end of the day, a lot of your clients with dry skin are going to want their makeup to look really fresh and youthful, and that's something that you have to be able to do for them. I wanted to touch back on something that I talked about in the skin prep for acne prone skin video, and it's all about creating that smooth base. So with dry skin, there are a couple of ways that this is going to be possible. Let's start with exfoliation and spot exfoliation. Now this is something that is going to be very dependent on the type of job you're doing, the amount of time that you have for the makeup application, and it's also going to depend on your client's skin type. If you are looking at your client and they've got fairly normal skin but with just a few rough patches, this is usually a good candidate for a little bit of spot exfoliation. And again, depending on how much time you have, one of the tricks that I like to use is to take a baby wipe with a little bit of moisturizer on it and spot exfoliate those areas before I start my makeup application. You can do this with a Q-tip and a little bit of moisturizer. There are some of you that love love to actually send your clients to a washroom to exfoliate their face, which is great if you have time for them to do that and it's not something that's going to irritate their skin any further. You can pack a gentle exfoliator in your kit that your clients can use before makeup application, but this would require water, sink, towel, that type of thing. So it has to be the right job for this type of skin prep, and there has to be the right resources there for you and your client. You also have to make sure that you have enough time for this stuff. Sometimes when you send your client to the washroom to do something, they might come back in 15 minutes, and if you only have 45 minutes or half an hour for makeup application, they've wasted half your time in the washroom. So pay attention to things like this and only ask your client to exfoliate if you feel like it's not going to damage their skin any further and you have enough time for this type of thing. And of course, I will recommend some gentle exfoliating products for you in the description box. You are going to be working with clients who have very thin skin that's very reactive, very prone to redness, and very sensitive. These are not the people that are going to do well with exfoliation of any kind. If you have somebody with eczema or psoriasis, you can't really spot exfoliate their skin. It's going to be very uncomfortable, very painful for your client. So this is not something you should be doing with this skin type. Back to the idea of creating that smooth base. Let's say you don't have time to do any of this stuff. Never mind the fact that your client's skin is not going to be able to handle that type of exfoliation. You might be in a situation where you need to prep the skin very quickly. In this type of situation, we have to rely on our moisturizer to help create that very smooth base. With a rich textured moisturizer, this is what you should be using for dry skin. You are going to apply it onto the skin. You're going to give it a couple minutes to soak in. If you go back to your client and you notice that your moisturizer is completely gone, you might want to apply it a little bit more, or you might find that you just need to purchase some different products for your kit. A couple of the products that I like to use, like the Embryolisse and like the Skin Food, when I apply them onto the skin is hydrated, but the product actually leaves a little slip on the surface of the skin, and it's this residue on the skin that is actually going to help with your makeup application because it's going to give your makeup something to smoothly glide over. And this is one of the reasons why you see a lot of makeup artists using Embryolisse and they say it can be used as a primer. It's because there is that residue on the skin that really helps to promote a very smooth makeup application. So when you are getting products for your kit for dry skin, when you try them on yourself, you want to make sure that it leaves the skin feeling supple and it doesn't just suck up into your skin and leave you with the same rough, dry skin that you started with. You do need something that leaves a little bit of a finish on the skin so that when you go to do your makeup application, everything goes on very smoothly. If you are applying makeup on that client where you don't have time to exfoliate or their skin can't handle any type of exfoliation, you apply that rich moisturizer. When you go to apply your foundation, you want to be careful not to move the moisturizer off the skin. So a light hand, a buffing motion, a patting and buffing motion is great. If you do anything in large swoops aggressively on a dry skin that is reactive, it's going to make the skin even more red, which is going to give you another issue to deal with. So be very careful and cautious about your makeup application in general, on the eyes, on the skin. When you are purchasing products for your kit with your skincare, remember too that a lot of your drier skin types may be a little bit more sensitive and reactive, and you want to make sure that you are purchasing products for sensitive skin. So you want to stay away from products that are heavily perfumed, and if they are fragranced, you want to make sure that that fragrance comes from a natural source. Usually you will find that a lot of your clients with dry skin will tell you that they're very sensitive to a lot of products as well, so keep that in mind. But the idea is to prep the skin to create that smooth base. You can create this through exfoliation, through spot exfoliation, or you can create this base by having a rich moisturizer that is made for sensitive skin. Also remember to not leave out the eye contour area and the neck. Someone that has dry skin, truly dry skin, their neck is going to appear dry as well. In photos, especially for bridal, if you have somebody that has dry skin and you moisturize their face perfectly and their neck still looks dry, it's going to make your makeup look bad. So make sure you handle the neck, and with the eye contour area, just be conscious of the fact that your drier skin types may be sensitive. So try to find a moisturizer that you can use that is for sensitive skin, and it's my recommendation as well to find one that you can actually apply all around the eye contour area, including the lid, because you will have those clients that have very dry, flaky eyelids and they'll have flaky brows. So you want to find that eye cream that you can use all over the eye contour area. If you do have that client that has flaky brows, that's when you take a little bit of moisturizer and a spoolie and brush that through to kind of spot exfoliate the eyebrow area. Moving on to makeup application, you want to make sure that you are also avoiding a lot of powder products. So you want to stay away from really heavy drying setting powders and instead use something that's fine or light. You want to make sure that you are working with more cream products. So cream highlighter, cream blush. If you need to do any contouring or definition of the face, try to use something in a cream formulation. This will help you achieve that glowing, flawless look, especially on your mature clients. Cream products are going to make the skin appear more youthful. Make sure you, of course, are using a liquid foundation that is easily blendable. There are a lot of liquid foundations that dry to a powder finish. Try to stay away from that type of product. With dry skin, we also talked about the skin being very reactive and red, so you want to make sure that you have a corrector in your kit. Again, something in a cream form that's going to help to counteract that discoloration. I spoke about this in all of the other videos on skin prep. Really treating the skin prep and the makeup application in zones is what is going to take your makeup application to the next level. So if you have somebody in your chair that has dry skin and they have just a cast of red over their face, or they have larger areas of the skin that are a little bit red, this is where you're going to take your green color corrector, mix it into your foundation and apply it where you need it. Not all over the entire face, but just where there are areas of redness. If you have somebody that has just smaller spots where their skin is red and irritated, or there's drier patches, or sometimes around the nose and mouth can be irritated, that's when you can take your corrector and mix it in with your concealer and spot correct some of those areas. Take a look at your client, see what their needs are. If you are also dealing with a dry skin that is mature and maybe has sunspots, you're going to want to spot, conceal, and correct those depending on the undertone of the sunspot. Sunspots can come in many different undertones. For ones that are a little bit larger, go back to your color wheel, figure out what is going to neutralize the color of the sunspot, and mix a little bit of that corrector and concealer, but do take some time to take away some of the sunspots, especially those that are a little bit bigger. Your mature clients will appreciate this. It will make the skin look a little bit more youthful. We're not here to completely create a mask on your client's face. This does not work in the real world. Your bridal clients, your personal clients, if you're working on camera, if you're doing a commercial, it's not going to photograph well, it's not going to look great, and it's not going to last an entire day. Keeping everything creamy and fresh, using a light powder, setting with a light setting powder. This is what's going to create that really healthy looking, flawless makeup application on a drier skin type. If you do need to use powder blush or any type of powder on the skin, or maybe you have a client that has a preference for more powder products, I would recommend using more mineral type products. So one of my favorite things that you see me use in a couple videos, and I talk about it as well, is the MAC Mineralize Blush and the MAC Mineralize Powders. Mineral powders have a softer look. They're a little bit more reflective. You don't want to go crazy with mineral powders, especially with photography. They can reflect a lot of light, but for blush, they are great. A little bit of setting powder in certain areas, they work really well. So I will leave you some product recommendations for mineral powders that I like in the description box. Because we want to use very little powder on our clients with drier skin, a setting spray is going to be very important. So the Skindinavia or the Urban Decay, don't use the D-Slick. You want to make sure that you are keeping a little bit of hydration on the surface of the skin. So just the original setting spray is a great option. You want to have something that's going to help adhere the makeup to the skin a little bit more. Having a couple different setting sprays in your kit is going to be really beneficial for different jobs, different skin types, and it saves you a little bit of work as well. That's it for this video on skin prep for dry skin. If you have any more questions, you know you can put them in the comments below. Also, let me know if you want me to do one more video on combination skin, or if you can kind of figure it out yourself. I would obviously be taking some of the stuff that I talked about from the oily skin video and some of the stuff I talked about from this video and putting it into another video, so let me know. That would be the last video in this series, so if you think it's going to be helpful for you, please leave a comment for me. A couple of other things I wanted to let you know. For everybody that's been asking, I will be looking for different skin types for my makeup application videos. I said this last week, I'll be using normal people so I can make this as real as possible for you. One more thing I wanted to mention, keep your eye on the community tab. In the next couple of days, I'm going to be asking for your input. I'm working on something that is going to be really helpful, and I'm very, very excited about it. And I don't want to get into too many details yet, but just keep an eye on that tab, and hopefully before next week's video, I will be posting something on there. I need your help and I need your feedback with this project, and it's something that I am creating for you. So keep an eye on that, and I will have more information about that for you probably in next week's video. I hope everybody has an amazing week. I know February can kind of be a depressing month, but hang in there, and of course I will see you back here next Wednesday. Bye everybody.